Welcome to Healing Highs with Lara, where we talk about the highlights and serendipitous moments of our healing journeys. I'm your host, Lara, an international energy healer for animals and humans. Thank you for being here. I love sharing these stories with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I am really excited today because we have a very special guest. Her name is Michele from Luminous Ignis, and she is a shamanic intuitive channel. So many amazing things that she does. I have lots of questions. I'm like hoping to get to all of them and remember all of them because I'm just so excited about hearing about it. So, welcome, Michele. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Lara. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you.
You were telling me, like, as we were getting ready to start recording the podcast, we had talked about you sharing something with the collective audience, like a reading or a channeling or something. And you said that something was coming in, and I felt like, oh, let's start with that and like give everybody that beautiful gift of information, and then uh get into your story. So if you don't mind sharing that message that you were getting and telling us again like who it's from and what you're receiving, that would be incredible.
Yeah, so I was preparing today. I was thinking about doing a chakra assessment for the group, and the Andromedan Council came into my meditation and said they have a message that they would like to share. So um, I agreed, and I have absolutely no idea what they intend to say. So when I connect with them, it'll just take me a moment to uh, go in, and then they'll start talking. And you're free to ask a question if you'd like.
Okay, incredible. Yeah, please take your time connecting and let us know what's coming through.
Okay. Hello, it is so good to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us onto your show. And we are here to give you a delightful message because we have felt many questions on people's hearts as they have gone through their day. And the heart is speaking out and prayers are going out, but we have a message that we think is integrative in the collective to pay attention to how you are setting your intentions or your prayers, if that is what you call it. It is that many are focused on a message of fear, and they have fear in their hearts, and they are saying prayers that are to lift up one group while saying something diminishing to another. And it is important that those of you who are holding the light and light workers to go ahead and decide that you want the world that you want. And what I feel for many of you in this group and in this collective is that you are looking for harmony and unity and peace and kindness and a better world where those things are just there, that they are not things that are elusive, but they are just the way, the normal way. So, as you are saying your intentions and your prayers and your requests in the coming days, be sure not to say them from fear or lack. Say them from where you want this world to go. Unity and harmony is what this channel suggests and what we suggest as well.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for that message. Um I my question would be, you've already given such a wonderful intention and way to practice that. Could you give us any other ways that we can hold unity and let go of separation?
You can go into your very, very powerful hearts. You don't realize the technology that is within you. It is absolutely profound, the amount of technology you can do just from sending out love from your heart and making a choice in your mind, and then bring that down into your collective hearts and your individual hearts to say, it is a choice that I make. I choose peace. I choose harmony. I choose unity. I choose a world of gratitude. I choose a world that I live in because you do choose, you do co create together. And the more of you that are co creating together that powerful message and intention, then you are not feeding into the fear that those who maybe have a different agenda might want you to feed into so that you use your power in a way that is not actually the way in which you choose to use it.
Mm, thank you. Kind of a more just lighthearted question. Um, what's what kind of ways can we connect with this collective that you're channeling? What kind of like is what is the energy? Is it very fun? Is it light? Is it focused? What how would you describe the collective of that energy?
We would say that we are fun, but maybe not in the ways in which you see as fun. We do laugh and we do tell jokes from time to time. We also find that we enjoy being very loving to each other and to humans and teaching much about the Akashic records. So, as many of you connect to us or try and connect to us, it is important to again go into your heart and utilize that technology. Oftentimes, you will see us as a light green color as we come through. For those of you that have a screen on your behind your eyes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did that sufficiently answer your question
I
or
loved it. Yeah, I liked that you were saying the part about the screen behind the eyes. Could you elaborate for people who are unfamiliar with what that is?
there is a gift among you, a technology among you to see not with the eyes, but with the eyes behind the eyes. You are made of light. You are made of photons, and those photons of light can illuminate when you close your eyes. And with practice, you can tune in to different colors. And these colors are maybe not the exact colors in which we are, but they are the colors that represent a frequency. And you are all in tune with that frequency. And there is areas in your brain that begin to translate this information so that we may come through to you. And maybe we come through first as a color or as a vibration or as a feeling or a sensation. And we communicate with everyone differently based on what their abilities are.
Lovely. That is perfect. I really thank you for that message. My last question is, do you eat food the way that we eat food?
We do not eat food. We eat light. We eat photons of light. We are six-dimensional beings,
Mhm.
and we have no longer any use for food. However, in the past, we ate many foods. We ate things that would be considered more seeds and nuts and fruits in your world, but they are different in our world. We no longer need them. However, we enjoyed sweetness when we still ate food.
Incredible. Thank you so much for all of those really beautiful and fun messages. I appreciated connecting with you. I know our collective audience and listeners will also find so much great information in what you shared. Thank you for being here.
It was our honor and our privilege, and we thank you for giving us time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad we started with that because I just feel like right away we can see your abilities and we can bring in that really cool information. And it was so timely. Like that was kind of the question that was floating around in my head is unity versus separation. And then you were already channeling that. And so I was like, great, this is perfect. So yeah, that was wonderful. When you're channeling, do you remember the messages afterwards?
I remember pieces of it right now, but in as time goes by, I tend to kind of lose it. So within
Right.
an hour, it'll be gone.
Yeah.
Um, but I can kind of pull at the threads right now since it was fresh enough. I observe. So when I'm channeling, it's like I'm in the I feel like I'm behind my body, kind of
Mhm.
watching.
Mm.
And sometimes I'll interrupt them. Fortunately, I didn't this time, but
Okay.
sometimes they'll say something that's triggering to me, and I'll kind of bleed in a little bit. But I'm also a conscious channel. So there's times where I'm channeling and fully present in my body and translating the information. That was where I kind of got out of the way.
Okay. That's so interesting. I know when I've channeled, I love it. It's very invigorating. You feel really kind of elated afterwards. But I know a lot of times clients will ask me, like, is that exhausting? Is that tiring? So for you, same question. Like, how do you feel afterwards?
Well, I've heard before that an hour of channeling is equivalent of 8 hours of mental labor, and
Mhm.
so if I do it a lot, I do get tired. But a
Okay.
short one like that, my entire spine right now is still tingling. The amount of energy that's running through my body, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So that feels good and that's invigorating. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, they kind of energized me a bit.
Incredible. Okay. Thank you for doing that. That was really fun. I love that we started with that.
You're welcome.
My questions that we were going to talk about on the podcast is your story and some things about your healing journey and your offerings. So we can transition into that.
Yeah.
One question I love to ask people is, did you always feel like you were a healer, a channeler? As a child, did you sense into any of that? Did you have any experiences with it?
Yeah, I was a very odd child. Is what I'll say. I love talking to the trees and the animals, and I called everything ghosts. So I was channeling, but I called everything a ghost because I had absolutely no frame of reference. I was raised in a Baptist church that did not allow any of that stuff. So I kind of just shut it all down on the outside, but still maintained it on the inside. So I would go and have a conversation with the trees and I would, talk to beings. And when I would have a hard time, a voice would just kind of appear that was very, very loving and very, very
Mhm.
kind.
Mhm.
And later on, of course, I realized I was channeling, but I didn't know
Yeah.
that then.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have Do you have a memory of being a child, something coming in that was like a warning or a premonition or something very important to you that, you just thought, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
talking to the trees," but this really turned into something?
When I was just graduated high school, I was driving a car. And right before I left, I switched out cars with my parents' car, which happened to be a convertible. This is important later on in the story.
Okay.
um, so as I was driving back, I went to a softball game, and as I was driving back, I stopped and put my seatbelt on. I don't know why. I just pulled over the car and put my seatbelt on. I just had a feeling, a sense I needed to do that immediately. So I did that. And I turned down this gravel road. And as I turned down the gravel road, I was driving, and it was right after a ton of flooding in the area. And I was driving towards a bridge, and it was dusk, and I couldn't see, um, much. But as I came on the bridge collapsed right as I approached it. Um, the car, because it was a convertible, ended up jumping it and then landed down on the ground, and all four tires popped off. What I remember though was going upside down and being under the water. And then next thing I know, I was landing on the other side of the bridge. And the police say there's no way that that car could have made it. So they said maybe because it was a convertible and it was bottom heavy. And I was wet. I was soaking wet, and
Mhm.
reality shifted. So there was the reality that I drowned and I was under the water, and then there was the reality that the car somehow made it across. Once the car made it across, I heard the loudest, most thundering, most audible voice in my head that said, "Turn the wheel." And it was so loud and it
Yeah.
vibrated through my entire body.
Wow.
And I turned the wheel just in time to not kind of go off the other side down into the water again. Um, that was probably one of the most profound moments that really got me paying attention of
Mm.
there is something so much bigger and there is so much protection and love and they saved me twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What changed for you after that? Did you notice things right away were different? Was it kind of a slow acknowledgement of, "Whoa, what that felt different," or what happened afterwards?
Before that, my clairaudience, clear hearing was always more kind of in my head, which
Mhm.
is where it's at most of the time. It's
Yeah.
you channel, you understand.
Yeah.
And this was my first experience with it being audible externally, like
Mhm.
as if that sound was coming from every direction, behind me, in front of me, beside me. And
Mhm.
after that, it felt like my clairaudient channels were even more open and attuned. But it was so every now and then I will get that loud, thundering voice, and it's usually when I need protected. It's usually in a moment, so I take it very seriously
Yeah.
in the very rare moments that happens. Um, I had it happen not too long ago where they said, "Turn here," and I'm like, Okay, I just listen."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, like I don't know what would have happened.
Right,
It was completely anticlimactic,
right.
but probably wouldn't have been had I gone straight and continued the direction that I was headed. So I I trust that voice. I know that it's divine. I suspect it's from the angelic realm, but I'm not
Mm.
sure.
Yeah, and like you said, you just trust it, so it's like you know nothing showed you, "Oh, good, look, you saved yourself from that thing."
Yeah,
You don't know, but you are so familiar with that divine energy that you just trust, like, this was supposed to happen. I'm good not knowing.
I'm fine not knowing.
Yeah.
Yes. And so if anybody like ever has these little intuitions and they follow it, like I really encourage you to, if it's completely anticlimactic and boring and like you just turned that way and nothing happened, to know like and trust like nothing happened because you trusted the guidance, you
Yeah,
trusted the intuition. It's not
yeah.
always going to be like, yay, there was this accident and I saw it on the news. It's you might not ever know.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That actually happened to me like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I was walking just in my hallway, and then it felt this like I could have gone right or left, like depending on the room, and it felt this like go in this room, and I was like, okay, and I went over there, and I was like looking. I don't know what was gonna happen. Nothing happened, but yeah, I just listen and I believe it, and so I don't need to doubt it or question it. And what would have happened? It's fine.
Yep,
Yeah.
that blind trust, yeah.
That's such an fantastic, powerful story of the bridge and how you felt afterwards. Were you, I know you said before that you were connecting with the trees and the different spirits around you. Did you notice that there was a different, like, reach? You could connect with different energies after that?
I would say that it was kind of an initiation of sorts, like, to get through to me, like, I think when something like that happens where they come through that audibly, it does change something in you,
Yeah.
um, and so, yeah, I did notice a difference after that with, my clairaudience and my ability to hear both internally and, then the external started coming through time to time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's really powerful. And when I would talk to the trees like that, kind of remained the same that
Mhm.
energy and that kind of thing, but more the channeling that kind of progressively different initiations or different like milestones in my life. There was kind of like access to a little bit more, and I think that happens for most people, where it's not just like you're born and everything is on. I think
Yeah.
you're born with a natural talent and ability, and then you have these initiations along the way and learnings and drawn to certain teachings, and that just kind of keeps you activating more and more. Just like when we go to school, right? We learn, and each grade kind of builds on each other. It's a
Mhm.
really similar thing. Like you learn something, and I love to tame wild cats as a child, which is so funny.
Oh.
Like that was something I loved to do, was take see these beautiful little creatures that were afraid and help them to see, like, not all humans are going to try and hurt you, and I
Mhm.
just want to love you and snuggle you, and
Yeah.
eventually
Te
they would let me. So, yeah.
Yeah, teach them that it can be different.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
There was something I was gonna say. Oh, when you like, what is your favorite thing about channeling? What is like for you, what do you love about it?
I love that they respond, like, just the day-to-day, like, the mundane things, um, is actually my favorite, and so sometimes when I channel, there's really powerful messages come through, and I watch the recording, and I'm like, "Wow, that was really cool." That's fun, but what is even more fun is to be the conscious channel where I'm aware, and it's like, I can't find my keys.
Yeah,
And or like I'll say, help me remember to get the, towels from the washer into the dryer. And then all of a sudden, 45 minutes later, I'll hear this like thought. It sounds like a thought, but it's not.
yeah,
Be like, did you want to put the towels in the dryer? So it's the mundane things. It's like this constant help of reminding me and helping me when I ask, because we
yeah.
have to ask, I have to give permission for those things. But because I'm constantly doing that and interacting with my guides and my team, my favorite is the mundane,
Mhm.
like, or if I'll have like a, spiritual question, I'll be like, what is this about? Then they just answer, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And a lot of times it's things that I would have never thought of.
Yeah, and that's where you know this is
Uh-huh.
not me because a lot of my students will ask that, like, "How do I know it's not me? How do I know it's not me making it up?" And it's like
Mhm.
that. You can tell. I wouldn't have known. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. So that
Yes.
is where you can see the difference. It feels
Mhm.
different. It sounds different. It's different information coming from outside of you in a way, even though everyone's connected to all the things.
Yes.
And I agree. I love that too. And I say that a lot too to my students and clients. If you're practicing this type of connection, doing it in all things, because
Mhm.
that is one way to keep the connection, throughout your day and make it easier for you. But also, yeah, it is really fun to say, I'm looking for this, help me find it. Or if I'm leaving and I didn't take that thing, please tell me to get it. And then, it
Mhm.
makes like you're bringing magic into the day to day, which I think in
Yes.
our world we can kind of forget.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping our world magical, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We need that. Um, so you and I, when we were chatting, you shared like a very power. I mean, the bridge is like, whoa. To hear that after this other story you had told me that I would love for you to share is wild because you've had some really big, powerful moments.
Mhm.
Could you share with us another really serendipitous time that you experienced that
Mhm.
is just like this universe, like coming into your life and
Yes. Well, the most striking is getting hit by lightning. So, I mean, what I was saying earlier, we're constantly going through these initiations. We don't have mystery schools on this planet right now. And so, but we do have a lot of wonderful people like you who are teaching classes and content, and that's helpful. Um, this initiation was, I was sitting here in this very chair, in this room, and a storm came out of nowhere. There wasn't anything predicted. It was, you know, just a sunny summer day. And all of a sudden, this huge storm, the clouds came in. It was completely dark outside, massive thunder and lightning, and a lightning. bolt came down and hit the tree outside of my office and came through the window, a side flare. So it wasn't main, it was a side flare, and it melted the window in that mandorla almond shape and struck me in the back 3 times, in 3 spots. It caused a lot of nerve damage. I was dead for 3 minutes, according to my Fitbit. Um,
Oh my, I was
and
gonna say, how did you find that out? Oh my goodness.
yeah,
What a
yeah.
wild way to find out from your Fitbit.
Well, I was trying to see how long I was unconscious, and then there was 3 minutes where there was no heartbeat. There was nothing registering on the, and all I remember is seeing white. And so I don't like have big story of like seeing a bunch of things or having some
Right.
experience, but it was the most blinding white light. Um, that at first I was thought was the lightning, and then as I kind of talked to my guides about it, they were like, "This was that was you kind of crossing, but your memory was you weren't allowed to come back with the memories of everything. You chose to come back." And
Mm.
my little dog came and was like licking my face and like nudging me, and I woke up and I had the amount of energy in my body was just overwhelming.
Mhm.
Um, I felt like I couldn't stay in my skin and I was having trouble staying in my body. It cleared out all my trauma. And what I mean by that is the trauma I had already worked through.
Mhm.
All the shadow work I had already done where that energy was just stuck in my body. I
Mhm.
still have shadows, I still have trauma work to do, but that it cleared out all of that energy, of the stuff I had already worked on.
Right.
And so that was super helpful and a gift. My heart had a miraculous recovery. So the cardiologist said, I was fine after a week later.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was a powerful initiation that kind of recalibrated my system. And that's when, like, all these intuitive gifts and channeling gifts and shamanic gifts that I had throughout life got amplified. And it's like
Mm.
somebody took the volume and turned it way up, and I had to lay on the ground and like ground down the energy, which
Wow.
gave me this time in stillness and silence to just
Mhm.
lay there and be connected to the earth and really connect to the elements. And many cultures consider getting struck by lightning a shamanic initiation. So
Yeah.
um I claim that I was initiated by lightning because that's what I think happened.
Absolutely. When I don't know, like, if you're in a storm or you can feel that electrical energy, do you
Mhm.
feel like you sense it differently because you're familiar with it?
Yeah, actually, I've channeled the major storms on Earth. So
Mm.
I've met 8 of them. I don't know if there's any more than that. But when they come, I'm always checking to see, like, which one are you?
Mm.
And I have a conversation with them, and they've shown me a lot about how they get bigger and smaller, but they never die.
Mm.
Sometimes they'll get so small that they're just a tiny little rain cloud, and then they'll
Mhm.
build their energy back up again. And so these are ancient storms that have traveled the earth and work with the element of water and air and fire, plasma.
Yeah.
So, Earth, it's really quite incredible to have had the opportunity to get to know those storms. So, when they come in, usually I know when a storm's coming because I start buzzing a lot and I
Yeah.
accumulate a lot of energy when that happens. So, um, if people get a healing from me right after, it's usually pretty intense. Or if a storm comes in, it's like a lot of energy. Because one of the things that happened after the lightning strike was the amount of energy that runs through my arm, um, is a channeled energy from lightning, from the storms of Earth, and it comes through. Like much like Reiki or any kind of hands-on healing, but this is kind of specific, which, if we look at lightning, when it strikes the earth, it helps the plants. It turns water into the fourth stage of water, which is a plasma, right on kind of the surface of the water. So there's so many magical things that and healing abilities that come through lightning that
Wow.
comes through me, through my
Yeah.
hands. Yeah.
Like a storm. Let's call Michelle, get a session.
Yes.
She's buzzing.
Yes.
That is so neat. There was something you said. Yeah, that's what I kind of was going to ask about the energy of the lightning, like how you channeled it and met it and what you use it for now. Um, and I guess physically, like you said, your heart healed. Was there any other aspects that
Yeah.
needed healing physically? Like did you have like how was your physical body afterwards?
Yeah, my physical body, it took quite a toll. It was a lot of electricity moving through my body. So there was a lot of nerve damage. I had very little use of my right arm and my right hand.
Mm,
And again, that's a miracle, though still something that I struggle with. And the medical doctors wanted to give me a lot of gabapentin, and I chose not to go that route. I'm not saying that's wrong for anyone else, but that's not the route that I felt like was right for me. And
right.
so when I found out that I wasn't going to do further damage by pushing it, I ran that healing energy as often as I could through my arm. And what I've come to find is the nerve damage, for the most part, has healed. I have use of my right arm again, but it starts to have a lot of nerve pain if I haven't run the energy. And what I've been
Mm,
told by my guides is that the reason for that is it keeps me remembering.
mm,
So the amount of healing that I've had from, the universe, my guides, and the healing energy of lightning moving through me has been incredibly powerful. But what remains is to keep me remembering every day to offer that energy to the earth or a tree, or, this morning it was the baby robins outside of my house that
mm.
received the dump before. Yeah, so I run it every day so that I'm not in pain,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful offering to move through me, and I'm grateful to continue to run it, and that's kind of part of the. I don't mean it in a negative way, but kind of the price to pay for being the channel of
Yeah.
that. It's a lot of responsibility that if you're going to have this much energy moving through you, you've got to be moving it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is such a unique offering that, like you said, it is something you carry, and that could you could view it, like you said, it could be negative, it could be
Yeah.
different things, but also how beautiful that you get to hold that gift and you get to offer it to the earth and the water and the animals and the
Mhm.
collective, and it's such a unique space to play in. So there is such a positive to all of that. I'm like picturing you like a real superhero, just sending that light through your hand
Yeah.
to the little robins and the plants and everything. So that's again like such a magical image I have of you right now doing that. Truly, and do your friends and family know like this is something you do and can do, and how are they about it?
My friends are great. My friends love it, and, they'll come ask, or I'll be like, "Hey, you want
Give me
the
some lightning.
you want the dump?"
Yeah.
Yeah, or my friend, I went to her, she has a metaphysical shop. I went and, like, ran it in the floor of her, shop one day, and she could feel the wave kind of coming, towards her over by where she has, a wall of herbs, and she could feel that coming. So, my friends are great about it. My family doesn't quite get it or understand it. My niece, though, it's funny because I'll turn it on and I'll run it and I'll like aim it at her, and I have to be careful about it because she'll start screaming, "You're doing magic! You're doing magic!" And she feels it. She's so sensitive to it. But since my family doesn't really believe in it, it's not something I talk about just because I don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
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 So it's out of love that I don't really talk about it much with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes we just need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is your niece that she's able to recognize that?
That was when she was like 5 and 6. She's kind
Mhm.
of grown out of it now. She'll just kind of look at me like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know what's happening
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. But when she was
Um,
little, she'd just scream it. And I was like, shh,
yeah,
quiet.
don't tell anyone I'm doing. I'm sending lightning into the ground.
But it was amazing that she could feel it, and a lot of children can feel it, and I think they can see it because I'll run it around like babies and stuff, and they'll see their little eyes. Like I know where it's moving, and their eyes are following it, and so that's a
Mm.
really cool thing. I wish I could visually see it. I've seen it in meditation, and it is kind of like what you're talking about, where I'll get my hands going and they tingle, and like my whole arm, I can feel the energy, and um, I'm also running some through my voice today so that,
I was
I
gonna
didn't.
ask, like, are you gonna like, is there any
Yeah.
coming through? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do the grid dump today that I normally do. I just ran a little to the robins and gave them some, and the rest I kind of saved up to run through. Um, so it's coming through the frequency of my voice. So I'm running it into my leg, which moves it through my body, and then I'm able to move it through my voice.
Amazing. Thank you for
Yeah,
sending us all lightning. If you're
you're
listening to
welcome.
this, you're getting lightning.
Yes, they
Lightning
are.
energy. What
Yes.
are some things that people notice? Like, there's different, even though it all comes from kind of the same place, this Reiki feels different than, a sound bath. And they can feel similar, but do you notice there is something different about the lightning energy that people will say, "Oh wow,
Mhm.
that feels like this," or that you notice?
Mhm. A lot of people mention feeling a buzzing in their body. And some people, because I run it so fast and then I fill their field with it, that they'll notice it kind of going for, hours afterwards. So when I do healing energy, I'm, that's like 2 or 3 minutes of the session just because it runs so fast, it's in the field, and then it just kind of does its thing, and so the
Yeah.
rest of it can be an intuitive reading or a channeling or whatever,
Mm.
they're wanting, but people feel that buzzing sensation, much like you feel when, like, a storm comes in and that energy kinda shifts, and, I love hearing back from people like, "My pain is gone," or, the different things that people have said to me have kind of blown my mind.
Yeah.
And I just, sometimes I just cry and give gratitude because I'm just like, I don't know what you guys did up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you, and I'm honored to get to be the channel and run that kind of energy through me where many people can feel it. They feel it, the sensation in their body.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Thank you for sharing all of that. It's such a unique point of view, and like you said, that you get to do that, and so I'm so happy for people to hear that and hear that story, and that's something, that's a
Yeah.
healing, and that is something that people carry on the planet. That's just such a
Uh-huh.
unique frequency to hold, and thank you for holding it because
Oh,
we need it.
no, thank you. Yes, I dump a lot into the grid every day that so that all the grid workers can work with that energy. So it's a team effort, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm doing my little piece and my part, and then there's grid workers somewhere that are using that energy and doing their thing, and who knows, But we're all working together and we're all supporting each other, which I think is really incredible and amazing.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, because we're kind of talking about the way that you offer that.
Mhm.
You offer so many beautiful things to your clients and the collective. What can you share? What are like some of the favorite things that you do in a session? I know you and I did like a chakra intuitive reading for me, and that was really insightful, so accurate. What are some of the favorite things that you love doing with your clients?
Um, I love channeling. I mean, channeling is my favorite, but even like the chakra reading is channeling.
Yeah.
It's channeling the energy centers um of one's body. And it's never just the chakras. Because once I kind of get a little bit of information of where a chakra might be stuck and what a
Mm.
chakra is wanting the person to know. For example, I'm not looking at the chakra in that moment, though I can. I'm looking at what shadow work needs to be done or what healing needs to be done or what does the chakra want you to keep doing. Sometimes the
Mhm.
chakra comes through with a, hey, good job. I know one of your chakras was like, keep doing
Yeah.
that.
I like this. Keep going.
Yes. So I mean, that's really fun too when I can, bring that through and give somebody that validation without knowing anything about them. I don't like people to tell me anything about them before I do a reading. I just like to, you know, see what comes through. And it's so fascinating to me when it resonates and it lands. And so doing the chakra reading, then next thing you know, like I'll pop into the Akashic records because there's other information that kind of needs to come through, or, also talking to their higher self or one of their guides might pop in and have a message, or an ancestor might pop in and have a message. So that's why I call myself a shamanic intuitive channel because I'm working with the elements. I do crystallography with water and ask water to show me messages, and it's really profound. I did the other day, I was channeling a being that I hadn't met before.
Mm.
And so I had a glass of water in front of me that I was drinking, and I froze the water through this process that I learned from Veda Austin, which is crystallography, and the image of the being that I saw in my mental screen,
Yeah.
as they said earlier.
Yeah.
Um, I saw them in the ice. I saw this perfect face of exactly how I was imagining this being in my mind's eye. So it's really incredible to get to work with all of the elements
Mm.
and be able to channel them as well and interpret the meanings that they bring through. So, I mean, I love doing what I do. I feel like the luckiest person in the world to um, get to be like the adult that young me would have been like, I want to be you when I grow up.
Yeah, like you're just playing with light and
Yeah.
energy and water, and yeah, those are all the things you would do as a child, and
Yes.
do all of that. I'm putting energy in this, or I'm sending a
Yes.
beam to you. Yeah, I love that you brought up the crystallography.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it's called? Uh, because I've heard about that and I've heard like bits and pieces of it, but could you give me more like information about it? Like what can you share, in terms of like obviously like people need to become like educated on it and things like that, but what are some things that you could share that are really it's so fascinating.
I've always had a deep respect for water, and whenever I've done in-person readings, I always have had them bring a glass of water to
Mm,
collect the energies, or if there's excess, they need more lightning energy. I can put that in the water.
yeah.
Um, I make medicines out of water as a shamanic practice of working with the element of water. This next stage of kind of my deepening of relationship with water, of learning about the crystallography process, and water has taught me things that are blowing my mind. How much water is watching everything, and water knows everything.
Yes.
I'll go to Pilates class and then freeze my water in this process, and it'll show me like doing Pilates. th- I asked for water to show me earlier this morning. I was like, just show me like what's happening in my house. I was just being playful because I love to
Yeah.
play. It's not always like serious questions. So I froze it and I saw my poodle with its bone in the mouth. And during the time that I was freezing the water, I was playing fetch with my poodle. And
Hmm.
so, I mean, it can be those simple, playful things
Yep.
to also it teaching me about different things or helping me kind of shamanically. Like if I do, I was doing a reading and I just had water next to me, and all the things we talked about came through. And so there was this dragon energy, and it was a perfect dragon in the ice image, blowing out this fire. And
Wow.
then the next one was like this dragon, and it was like clearing out these energies, and it had those energies in its wings then the next image. And so, I mean, water is blowing my mind from like the mundane. It like watched me at Pilates to
Yeah.
like it can see inside of our meditations, and it
Mm.
can bring through, which blows my mind. It can bring through these images, which how validating,
Right.
right? If you saw a dragon in meditation and then like I send you this image and I'm like,
Yeah.
here's your dragon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
showed up in a physical form.
Yes.
That's so funny. What is really interesting about this moment is I had a glass of water to the side and I grabbed it as we were talking about the lightning, and
Uh-huh.
I've just been holding it and I haven't taken a drink of it. And as you were talking, I was like, wait, I'm holding this water this whole time. I'm not drinking it. So I'm so interested, what is it absorbing in this moment that it was like, "Hold me," and
Yeah.
then you're talking about this, and I looked down and I thought, "Oh, this is happening."
Yeah, so water's asking you, right? Water's inviting you like to invite it in and saying,
Yeah.
I'm a part of this,
Mhm.
right? I'm a part of this reading. I'm watching everything and knows everyone who's listening and
Yeah.
everything about all of us and our ancestors and the history of the world. So, I mean, we can ask water anything. And the thing I love about this process is I can ask it something and it can show me that I can see with my eyes, my visual eyes,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
the inside screen, but with my actual eyes, I can see these profound images. And, I've been putting some of them on my social media lately. And
Oh,
I mean, they're
cool.
just blowing my mind. And yeah,
Oh, that's
so
great that
cool.
you're doing that. This episode is sponsored by Provia Psychology. At Provia Psychology, we believe healing is a whole person journey. Our compassionate mental health therapists offer personalized care that honors your unique path, blending evidence based therapy with deep intuitive understanding. With offices in Long Beach and Newport Beach and secure telehealth across California, support is always within reach. Visit proviapsychology.com to find a therapist who aligns with you. Provia Psychology, healing starts here. To sort of switch gears here, I'm also thinking like everyone, we will put your information in the bio. So if they're like, we want to see these images that you're posting, we'll put that there so people can come find you and see what is these things, what does that look like,
Uh-huh.
But I know that you and I had talked about something in our kind of talk before recording about peop people, but healers showing up authentically in their space.
Mhm.
And I just feel like in this moment, I want to bring that background and ask you to share your thoughts on that because you yourself show up so authentically in every subject that we've been talking about. Um, and you can really feel that in people. And
Mhm.
I was reminded of that conversation that we had and that maybe we could talk about that. And I feel like in this moment, it would be really great to hear your thoughts on people in general showing up authentically in their lives or healers, how they can show up authentically with their gifts. What
Mhm.
do you feel like is coming to you in terms of wanting to share anything about that from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's really important to not try and copy or be another person or try and replicate them. Even if it's like you take a Reiki training and, there's these very specific hand placements and, not everybody is called for that, right? Like mine happened to be lightning. And so the way that I do it, I'm letting lightning teach me.
Mm,
And so being authentic with our gifts and really as we kind of take trainings and take classes like learn that method
yeah,
absolutely if you are drawn to that method learn that method
yeah.
and there may be like a few tweaks and there may be a lot of tweaks that as you get that foundational learning and then you start growing from that and be like oh yeah this is I like to do it this way or if I could channel and I can run energy or whatever combination of skills you are is part of what leads you to your authentic skill set and you have that too right these different skills and these different trainings and life experiences and it all kind of weaves together
Mm,
and becomes that unique, authentic you or me. And so I really encourage people that as you're learning and as you're growing, because we're all still doing that no matter our level of we're just a baby in this or we've been doing it for a while,
Yeah.
to be able to really start to say, oh, I'm really good at this, or I really am good at the claircognizance piece or the
Yeah.
clear knowing. There's not a lot of trainings on claircognizance. Either you just have that knowing, or you don't. But
Mm.
if you have it, to be able to figure out, like, how can I use this in my life? So if you have a job where you're not like doing this or offering these services for a living, say you work at a bank and you use that to like help you navigate your day and make decisions, to just know, then that's you finding your authentic self,
Yeah.
right? And it's, use these gifts in real life, use these abilities in the way that like they come through for you.
Yes. Yeah, that's so true. I in the classes I teach, I always tell people, you're taking this information, you have your own signature, you have your own medicine, put it together or find your own, let it guide you, whatever it is, because
Mhm.
it's your, there could be thousands of people that do Reiki or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I love teaching theta healing. And that's, there's so many in all countries, 200 and something countries, all these people are doing it. And yours is going to have a different perspective, a different feeling, a different healing and approach that people are going to be called to. And to
Yeah.
remember that, to bring your own point of view to it and your own healing. Yeah. So I love what you said. We like to we started doing something this season of like a quick fire questions, but they're kind of like all like healing-ish related. So I'm going to
Okay.
ask you questions, just like whatever the answer is that comes through, just to have like a good, like a fun moment in the podcast.
Okay.
So I was like, I have to pull those up. Okay. So what healing modality do you love besides the ones that you do?
Um, I am absolutely impressed with sound healers
Mm,
and their ability to tap into sound and play all of these instruments and generate a feeling and watch them move energy. Like, it's
yeah.
incredible.
Awesome. I love that. Especially as we're talking about water and I do sound healing and my image is always that the frequencies are getting into the water and within us and vibrating and moving it. I
Yes,
love
they
that.
are.
What is, if you like yoga, what is your favorite type of yoga?
I love hot yoga
Mm,
in the infrared, and I like more gentle flows and some weightlifting, but I'm also obsessed with Pilates and do Pilates every day.
love, yes, love Pilates. What is the most special place you've traveled?
Mombasa, Kenya.
Goodness. I have like a quick fire round. I want to ask more questions. Favorite constellation?
Ooh, probably Virgo. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, me too. How
Yes.
funny. um, are you August Virgo or September Virgo?
September.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you said that, I was like, oh, okay, I can sense that now. Atlantis or Lemurian or third option? What?
Lumerian. I have many life memories from Lumeria, but not really from Atlantis.
Same. Me too.
Yeah.
What's a most unique place you've ever maybe like been to a healing ceremony or hosted a healing event or like been in what's a unique place where you've done healing?
Any place. Duluth, Minnesota. The Great Lakes. It is. There are such powerful spirits in the
Oh,
Great Lakes.
yes.
Yeah,
When you
there.
said that, I was like, my body's like, ah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I can feel that. Do you have a nickname? You don't have to share it, but do you have a nickname?
I have a lot of nicknames. I think they come and go. So yes.
Okay. Is there any that you do want to share?
um, they change all the time. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
which one to share.
What's your favorite type of food?
Um, Oranges and potatoes.
Okay. If you had a choice, what would you reincarnate as? And it doesn't have to be on Earth.
I have always told my dog I want to reincarnate as their dog
Oh, I
someday.
love that. I
Yes.
love that so much. What's your favorite word?
Oh, what's my favorite word? Love.
Mm, it's like a hug. What is your moon sign?
Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That was it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for this time. I just had such a blast listening to your stories and hearing your insights. I appreciate this and what you're offering to everyone and your own healing with your clients and the people in your community. Just thank you for being here and doing that.
Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. It was so much fun. And the way we connected, like we don't know each other at all. This is like it just makes it like another level of excitement and fun because we don't know each other at all. And the way we found each other, and then I love everything you're sharing with us. I'm really excited for everyone to hear this episode. So we always, as you know, end the podcast asking the void a question. And I had let you know that and you'd heard some of the episodes and you said you want to ask the void a question. So go ahead and just ask the question and the void will come on in and give us the insight.
All right. If the secret to the universe is a number, what number would it be?
Hmm.
42.
Ah,
Always.
Did you hear that?
42.
Always.
Always.
Interesting. The codes and energies of that number. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Void. And thank you, Michelle.
Yes,
But
thank
yes, thank
you.
you again so much for your time and doing this. I appreciate you.
Oh, I had a blast coming on here. So thank you so much, Laura. And thank you to the void. I didn't know 42 is the answer. So thanks.
Right? Yes. um, so I would always sign off saying, thank you, healer, for listening. And I wish you so much joy and serendipity on your healing journey. And I know our paths will cross again.